Good morning. My name is David Bates. I'm the Chief Operating Officer for the Dallas Independent School District. This is an exciting day for Dallas ISD, and I'd like to first start by saying thank you to Dr. Stephanie Elizalde, Dr. Nance, and our distinguished members of our congressional delegation, Representative Eddie Bernice Johnson, and Representative Colin Allred. I also want to thank the EPA officials who have been instrumental in ensuring Dallas ISD can take the next steps into our future. I also want to recognize our very own sustainability champion, Mr. Bryant Shaw. At Dallas ISD, we have always looking for ways to improve processes and reduce our carbon footprint. As a father, I know how important it is to make sure our children have a future. That is why it's my pleasure to introduce Environmental Protection Agency Region 6 Administrator, Earthia Nance. Dr. Nance was appointed Regional EPA Administrator by President Joe Biden in December of 2021. She has an illustrious career working with urban communities in disaster recovery and prevention, and served as New Orleans Director for Disaster Mitigation after Katrina, creating the city's first approved plans for hazardous mitigation, sustainability, and green energy. As a professional civil engineer for more than 25 years, and in her work as a public servant, she has come to understand the importance of sustainability efforts that benefit our communities. Please welcome Dr. Nance.
Good morning. Thank you all for being here, and thank you, Superintendent Elizalde and Dallas ISD, for hosting today's event. I'm Dr. Thea Nance, Regional Administrator for EPA Region 6. I'm thrilled to be here to announce EPA's Clean School Bus Program funding to the Dallas Independent School District in the amount of $7.1 million. This award is part of nearly $1 billion from EPA's fiscal year 2022 Clean School Bus Rebate Competition, a program that will improve air quality in and around schools and communities, reduce greenhouse gas pollution, and better protect children's health. These awards under President Biden's bipartisan infrastructure law will forever transform school bus fleets across the United States, replacing older, heavily polluting buses and making clean, zero-emissions school buses the American standard. Given the overwhelming demand from school districts across the country, EPA is nearly doubling the amount of awards for 2022 from $500 million to $965 million. These awards will fund new electric and low-emission buses for school districts in all 50 states and Washington, D.C., along with several federally recognized tribes and U.S. territories. This program prioritizes communities of greatest need, and the vast majority of rebate awards will go to prioritized school districts. These include school districts with more than 20% of students in poverty, rural school districts, tribal school districts, and districts in underserved and overburdened communities. The broad range of the rebate recipients demonstrates the enthusiasm that school districts across the country have for electric and lower emission school buses, from urban to rural areas and everywhere in between. The school bus program is accelerating our transition to electric school buses. EPA is funding a significant share for electric school buses, up to $375,000 for each bus and up to $20,000 for charging equipment for prioritized districts. These awards are the first $1 billion of a 5-year, $5 billion program under the bipartisan infrastructure law. EPA looks forward to announcing the next round of funding in the coming months, which will include an ambitious grant competition. EPA expects to make another $1 billion available for clean school buses in fiscal year 2023. Thanks to the Biden-Harris administration, the Clean School Bus Program will result in healthier air for many of the 25 million American children who rely on school buses every day, all while boosting job creation and protecting the planet. I'm very excited to share this news with you and for the benefits these buses will bring to students and families in Dallas. We had a lot of help from local partners in bringing this program to life. I'd like to thank the North Central Dallas Council of Governments, Environment Texas, and the Sierra Club, as well as the bus companies and industry leaders who helped us get the word out about this opportunity. And now I'd like to thank some very important people who had a part in making all of this possible. We're very happy to be joined today by U.S. Representative Eddie Bernice Johnson, Representative Mark Veazey, and Representative Colin Allred. Because of their support for the bipartisan infrastructure law, we can celebrate this new funding today. I'd like to take, yes. I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge Congresswoman Eddie Bernice Johnson and to congratulate her on her retirement from the U.S. House of Representatives. For 30 years, she has served our country. Her extraordinary career includes many remarkable accomplishments, from becoming the first Black woman to chair the House Science Committee to being the first nurse elected to the U.S. Congress. As she leaves office, her community focus is something that I truly admire. It has been an honor to partner with her and her staff on the Clean School Bus Program and all your work throughout the years to protect the health of our communities. Again, we are thrilled to be here celebrating this announcement. Thank you all for coming, and congratulations to Dallas ISD.
Thank you. Thank you for that. And this is exciting, and Ms. Shaw, thank you for being a champion in this effort. I'd like to introduce our CEO, Dr. Stephanie Elizalde.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you all for taking time to be here. And again, thank you to our elected officials and certainly to the Honorable Eddie Bernice Johnson for her years and years of service. Thank you so much for championing so many things that have helped Dallas ISD and our entire community. So thank you, Dr. Nance, for sharing this exciting news, and thank you to our forward-thinking Board of Trustees who got us on this path to entering this rebate competition by setting a vision of sustainability for Dallas ISD. We are grateful not only to the administration and the EPA for making these funds available through the bipartisan infrastructure law, but also to our congressional delegation for their support. I just want to remind everyone that in 2020, the Dallas ISD Board of Trustees unanimously passed the Environment and Climate Resolution, which established a number of goals for our district to increase its environmentally friendly practices. These 25 buses and the charging infrastructure are part of the vision set forth by this crucial resolution, and I want to commend Chief Bates, Deputy Chief Dino Harris, who's hiding somewhere. There he is. Mr. Shaw, and the entire staff, the team, for pursuing this funding and other initiatives that will make us greener. From using 100% compostable plates and trash bags by 2027 and ensuring schools use renewable energy sources to piloting zero-emission school buses in our fleet, we are ensuring that Dallas ISD leaves a smaller environmental footprint. We don't just talk about sustainability, we do it. It's important that while we prepare our students academically for the future, we also make sure the future is safe and thriving for them and their families. Initiatives like the one we are discussing today are how we do that. I can't wait to see the new buses. I'm really excited about those 25 new buses rolling down our streets, probably being quite a bit quieter than diesel, picking up our students with zero emissions, making the air even around where they wait for buses cleaner and more breathable, immediately as well as for the future. And I found a Native American quote that I thought really exemplifies and states in a much better way than I can. We really do not inherit the earth from our ancestors. We actually borrow it from our children. And so for those Spanish speaking, I would like to make just a few comments. Para el grupo bilingüe, gracias, Dr. Nance, para compartir esta emocionante noticia y gracias a nuestra visionaria mesa directiva por ayudarnos a participar en esta competencia para establecer una visión de sostenibilidad para Dallas ISD. Estamos agradecidos no solo con esta administración y con EPA, por aportar estos fondos a través de la Ley de Infraestructura bipartidista, sino también con nuestra delegación en el Congreso por su apoyo. En 2020, la mesa directiva de Dallas ISD aprobó por unanimidad la resolución ambiental y climática que estableció una serie de objetivos para que el distrito aumente sus prácticas ecológicas. The Spanish translations are much harder than one would think. Estos 25 autobuses y la infraestructura para cargarlos son parte de la visión establecida por esta resolución y quiero felicitar a Chief Bates, a Mr. Harris, al señor Shaw y al equipo personalmente para buscar esta financiación y otras iniciativas que nos harán más ecológicos. Gracias.
I want to thank EPA again for this wonderful opportunity we have. We have a great Deputy Chief of Operations who's doing a wonderful job at our transportation department since we've taken it over from Dallas County. And on my notes, I have 25 buses, but he added a 250. Is that what you want? So that's our goal, Mr. Shaw. Okay. So, but we'll start with this 25. It is my pleasure now to introduce Representative Eddie Bernice Johnson. Please stand and help me recognize it, Ms. Johnson.
Thank you so very, very much. And let me express my pleasure to be joining the extraordinary leadership in our regional office, as well as extraordinary leadership for the Dallas Independent School District, and all of you that support our outstanding leader. I know that she is assembling an outstanding team. I have always been proud of the challenges and the skill that they are met with in this leadership in the Dallas Independent School District. So let me thank you. There would be no way that we could react unless there was leadership in this school district that would make it known that you're willing to be a part of today's action to protect our environment and our children. It has been my pleasure to serve this district for almost 30 years. It has also been my pleasure to work on the Transportation Committee and the Science Committee the entire time. And so when it comes to environmental issues or almost any other issue, I am never ashamed to make sure that they understand where I'm from and that it needs as much attention as any other spot in the nation. And so when I reach back and have the information and the leadership that can furnish that information right away, it is gratifying. This is the first time I've met our regional director of EPA in person, but we've met on the telephone. I have no qualms about asking people to do certain things if it's going to help District 30, or actually this state. And so I'm here this morning because I appreciate the leadership and the willingness of the responsibility to continue to look out for our children and for our environment. None of us are in a cocoon of our own. We see the changes that are taking place, and partially because we have not known, and much of the time we have not taken the leadership to make the changes we need to make to protect our environment. When we do not protect our environment, we do not protect our people and certainly our future, which is our children. This is a great step in that direction, and I want to express my extraordinary appreciation for the leadership, for all of you here, and for the leaders at the top of this heap. I could not go on without acknowledging that I have depended for the last 30 years on the information that I can get, because when you start to make proposals in Washington, you better stand on sound ground, of Mr. Michael Morris at COG. And so he continues, and you continue to lean on him because he's got all the information and the skill to get it. So thank you again, and good luck. I'm not going anywhere, but I am retiring. And let me express my extraordinary appreciation and respect for the new leadership in this region, for both the regional director and our superintendent. Thank you.
I've been in the district for 25 years, and you have been a true champion for the Dallas Independent School District my entire time here, to include driving around in the cold, looking at Thomas Jefferson after the tornado. So I do appreciate everything that you've done for the Dallas Independent School District. Next up, I'd like to introduce Representative Mark Vesey.
Thank you very morning. Thank you very much. I was going to say good morning, buenos dias to everybody, and wonderful to be with you today to talk about this clean school bus program, this rebate that will allocate over $7 million for 25 electric school buses right here in North Texas in the ISD. And the air our children breathe is essential to their well-being, and very important to them being able to get a good education. And some of these kids are breathing polluted air from diesel school buses, and polluted air disproportionately hurts communities of color. We already know that. We also know that North Texas has had struggles for a long time being able to get the air quality here into certain attainment levels, and this will help go a very long way in being able to do that, and that's why this investment is important. I serve on the Energy and Commerce Committee, and I'm very proud of the work that we did on that committee to get the bipartisan infrastructure law passed into law and sent to the president's desk so it could be signed, so we could have programs exactly like what we're here celebrating today. Something else that I think hasn't really been mentioned a lot either, in addition to the cleaner air that we'll all be able to breathe and this cleaner product that will be rolled out, I got to tell you, the school kids are going to like this a lot better too. If you look at the electric vehicles that are already being used in commercial utilization, you will find that they are much quieter. They are much more quieter than diesel products or traditional internal combustible engine products, and the kids are going to love that. The school driver is probably going to have to work on them being a little bit more quieter on the bus as they're sort of driving along, but that's okay. It's going to be just really a win-win for everybody on the environment, on noise, on pollution, and I'm really proud of DISD and them really taking the lead on this initiative. And it's really my hope, too, as all of us that are here, Eddie Bernice Johnson, Colin Aldred, we all represent multiple school districts. I represent both Dallas and Tarrant counties, and we hope that this is something, again, that we're going to be able to continually fund, continually expand and roll out so more and more school districts can be a part of this very special program, again, that's going to improve air quality tremendously for North Texas. Thank you.
And Representative, we met each other about 10 years ago, and this was a topic 10 years ago, and it's great to see it finally come to fruition. Now, Representative Colin Allred.
Well, good morning. I'm a proud graduate of DISD from Pershing Elementary to Franklin Middle School and Hillcrest High School. And my mom taught in DISD for over 20 years. And so this is an exciting morning for me. And now I'm proud to represent the 32nd District in Congress. And I really want to thank Dr. Nance and Dr. Elizalde for bringing us together. And to all the folks at DISD who've worked on this, I've got to ride these buses this summer with some of y'all, and I agree with Mark. They are really nice buses, but it wouldn't happen without y'all's vision in applying for this funding and working for it. So thank you for what y'all have done. It also wouldn't have happened without the passage of the bipartisan infrastructure law. This is a law that is continuing to deliver for us, and it's going to, over the next 5 years, continue to find ways for us to continue to provide things like this, 25 pollution-free electric school buses worth $7.6 million. That's a big deal. It's a big deal for our community, and it would not have happened had we not passed this important legislation in Congress and had President Biden not led the way in getting it passed. As a member of the Transportation Committee, I was proud to work on this legislation that's going to be the largest investment in our infrastructure in a generation, really since the Eisenhower era. And since it was signed into law by President Biden, we are already seeing jobs being created, our economy growing, and it's going to help us reduce congestion, in this case, reduce pollution. Now, I know what it's like to ride on a DISD bus, and back when I was doing it, they were loud, stinky, and didn't have air conditioning. And as somebody who played a lot of sports, you roll down the window and you try to get a little bit of relief, and all you have is diesel fumes coming in your face. It's not so nice. Now, I think it's amazing that these kids are going to get to go to games, and I was in these buses this summer, in these air-conditioned buses with no noise, and I actually think we're spoiling them a little bit, because to me, that's just part of the experience. But no, seriously, this is a great thing for us, and I think that these school buses are part of an overall effort that we're all making to try and improve our environment and protect our kids, because we've also learned that some of these fumes that we all grew up dealing with are harmful, and they're not good for kids' development. And if we can do something about it, we should. And so I really want to thank the Biden administration and the EPA for doing this. I'm proud of the work that we've done in Congress to make this possible. And I want to congratulate DISD on being the first school district in our area to take advantage of this. Just like all of us, I represent several other school districts. I know they're also interested in this. I look forward to working with them to get it done as well. So thank you all so much.
So in closing, I want to say our board was instrumental in passing a 9-0 vote for our sustainability policy, and since then we have really met all of our goals except for transportation. And now, with the help of everyone up here and EPA and with this rebate program, we're going to meet that goal. So thank you, everyone.